It's Snow White week. We are here. We've been waiting for this for 3 years. Okay, this movie has been delayed. It was supposed to come out in 23, end of 22, maybe 23. Here we are, 2025. It's finally here, and it's going to be a disaster. But what I want to do is I want to remind us how we got here. Okay, I want to remind us, how did we get here? How did we come to the point where Rachel Zegler is the most hated person in the world? Because that's a fair thing to say. She is literally hated by everybody, unless you're a weirdo Zeglian, and we're going to look at them. They, as I said earlier in the stream, they have come out of the woodworks right now. Okay, suddenly they reappeared, and I have confirmation because Dermy likes to watch this. He likes to keep track of it. He says that he followed a couple of them when he was trying to get blocked by her. They've been dormant for months. The Zeglians, their social media presence, they haven't said anything, nothing. And suddenly in the past 72 hours, woo, so much activity.
I'm telling you, the marketing budget kicked back in for the film.
You're probably not wrong, because I have a couple of points on that as well, as I trolled. But it all began when we're not going to go through her whole career thing. We're going to start with Snow White. Ugh. It was D23. It's the moment of the weird. It's the moment of that where she started to say stuff that alert. Now, we already were going to say this thing's going to be dog shit. She's not going to be able to properly be a beautiful princess. She's not a good actress. And I'm going to say this because a lot of people say it. She cannot sing. She cannot sing. And I say this when I compare her to the likes of the still living, and may she continue to live, Julie Andrews. The likes of who truly was a goddess of her time, multi-talented Julie Andrews, who did stage and screen like this little twit is going to try and do now. So we got the news she's going to be Snow White. We're also going to be bad. And then the interviews again. So we'll start with this. And these are minor clips. It's not the whole thing. These are the clips I've been saving and collecting that I keep on file for these moments. And here we are. Remember this.
It's no longer 1937. And we absolutely wrote a Snow White.
She's not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
Okay, so this was the moment. This came out. This is the D23 Expo, and it was a disaster. And I want to remark right now, because we're going to come back to this, look at how she's perfectly happy talking to Gal Gadot here. No problems.
Oh, because
no problems.
It wasn't politically advantageous for her to hate Gal Gadot's ancestry.
Yeah, exactly.
Or nationality.
Look, they can look each other in the eye. We're gonna go to we can go to this one over here. So here's this one.
Just don't let her talk.
No special.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again.
Oh.
So you weren't a fan.
So you weren't a fan, even though there were repeated articles of her interview saying, "I love Snow White. It's so important to me." But you said here you hated it because it scared you. So these interviews were the parts that showed us that she didn't give a shit. But then we get these ones here. This one here, this one.
It's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024.
Well, actually, 2025.
Whoops.
But whoops. Because they had to do reshoots. Because there were problems. Because the backlash started. Backlash brought on from comments like this right here.
If I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Oh, no.
That was very bitchy.
Yes. Very, CUNTY next Tuesday. Very, 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 very that to behave. Then this was the impression she gave people.
Well, I just want to say, I think the people who wear that same iconic Disney dress at the Disney parks, they have a much better argument for being paid fairly because
Agreed.
they get shafted at Disney. Well, pretty much all the mascot dress up people in all the parks, they get paid minimum wage, if that. So yeah, it was the actress from Disney World saying that. I'd be like, all right, you should be paid more. You're in a suit in the hot Florida sun for 8 hours a day.
Getting pawed at by kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a much harder job than Rachel. Rachel got pampered for a couple months and had to, remember her lines. Oh my God, it's so hard. And had to wear a perfectly fitted dress.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Weird.
It's that, and that's the weird part after that. So these were the major things that dropped of these interviews, and there are a few more here and there, but these are the big ones that launched 1,000 memes. These are the ones that launched 1,000 memes, and this is the impression that we got of her out of that. Now, we already had a bad impression of her from other stuff, but this made it so that nobody was going to buy into this. So now here comes the problems. Let's go back in time to the trailers. I got the trailers up here. All right.
Oh no.
No, we're not watching them. Don't worry, we're not watching them. We're not watching them. I'm just I'm having them up so that we can look at the real time like to dislike ratio, because it built over time. And this is why Disney delayed these trailer drops. Okay, they delayed them forever. Why? Because the first one they dropped 7 months ago, 1.5 million dislikes. Probably more, because it's the approximation, to only 102,000 upvotes with 11 million views. That's terrible. That's just terrible.
Yeah, that's rough.
Next one they launched just 3 months ago, 1.6 million
Deep,
down
man.
votes
That's deep.
to 55,000 upvotes. And one from just a few days ago, 176K downvote to 6.9. Oh, I'm sorry, a month ago. Sorry, it's a month ago. And I mean, at this point, this was just like a little thing, but the recent stuff they've released on social media have been savaged on other social media platforms. So this is the reaction you get. And we could read through the comments. They're probably hilarious, but that would be going down a rabbit hole of probably humor we could have, but we're already going to go over time as it is. So the trailers were a disaster. Okay. And then, as we mentioned, she went and did her Broadway play. Okay. Zegler went and did a Broadway play, Romeo and Juliet, last year. Anybody know about
I'd memory hold that.
Yeah, it was like sort of on Broadway, doesn't matter. But no, they claim it was hot, but nobody talked about it. Only the Zeglins. So that was failed. But during that, this happened. Remember this. I love you so much. It's after the trailer, after the horrible trailer, which she doesn't understand, everybody was making fun of. She said 120 million views on our trailer. We're so happy. That was the one they put up on X first. But then always remember, Free Palestine. So we're at this point, guys. Do you think Disney thought about pulling the plug at this point completely?
I don't think at this point. This was really early on, and politically, Disney aligns with this position and positions like it, so I don't think they were too concerned about it initially. It's only when it started to snowball that they got concerned. So I think this was too early in the process for them to be overly concerned. I'm sure they went, hey, probably shouldn't say that. We agree with you, but tone it down a little bit next time.
At this point, do you think they thought, Dre, do you think at this point they said, you know what, maybe let's not do theaters. Let's just put this on Disney Plus and forget about it.
So, like in my personal opinion, I think they were in too deep already, and they just couldn't pull the plug. I strongly believe that if they could have, they would have been through this on Disney Plus if they didn't commit so heavily early on and engage in all this support for certain ideologies and certain groups. I really think they would have been through this on Disney Plus, and then more than likely would have just straight up took that joint off and get a tax write off. Honestly,
Well, they can't. They already had. They were way beyond the back.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. They're in way too deep already at this point. What's this? August 12th, 2024?
This is August last year.
They're in too deep. If this was maybe another year earlier, maybe they would have pulled the plug. But they've already, pretty much handcuffed themselves to this hooker, and they're going down. So it's like it's hard. It was just too late. And I think like people that have half a brain that is there was probably thinking like, yo, man, we really got to get out of this, but it's just too late.
Well, that's the thing now. There's an article. Let me see. Do I have the article here up? They don't know what to do with her. Here we are. This is the present now. We're going to jump to the present.
Oh, I know what to do.
Oh,
fire her.
We're going to go past we're going to go past the disastrous Oscars where they put them both out on stage. The disastrous D23 from this year where they couldn't put them, where it was clear there was a problem. They wouldn't even look each other in the eye. They knew they had a problem. They knew they had a problem where now we know. Just this week we learned, after the previews we learned, they canceled the UK premiere because afraid of anti-woke protest bullshit.
No, they come up for her butt cheeks.
Yeah, because here it's not, because you know what the anti-woke protest is? This right here. We sit in our studios, in our rooms, in our homes, and we talk to people online. We're not actually gonna walk our dumbasses out there and stand out there just to go, we hate you, you bitch. We're not gonna do that.
Well, they expect us to because that's what they would do.
Thank you. That is their behavior. That is the commie Marxist. We're going to go out and protest your ass and have a summer of love moment. That's their line of thinking. We don't behave like that because, frankly, we'd rather sit in our nice air-conditioned rooms where we can get up and move around with or without pants on and have comfort. We don't want to go out there just to heckle Rachel Zegler when we can get a better reaction by heckling her online. So much so that after this moment right here, she retreated to Instagram. She hasn't been on X in forever. So much so that when she had her post-election meltdown, I didn't get those up because that would take us down a different tangent. I'm just going to reference them. When she had her post-election meltdown, that was on Instagram only. And it took others to copy, cut, and paste and put it over here for people like me who don't go near Instagram to use that content to talk about it. And right after that, within days, wasn't even her. Somebody else probably wrote it and just put it on her Instagram, the corporate apology response. So right here, so they have not known, not that one. They haven't known what to do with her at all. Because she is a bitch that must be muzzled and kenneled at all times. Because they cannot control her when she's on off-the-cuff conversation because she will be what she always has been, an activist. Has she ever been anything but an activist, guys?
A child?
I hate her face.
She is somebody who's been told her whole life that she's special, that she's a snowflake, that she has talent. No one ever told her that you suck. You're not good at what you do. And that's why she's the epitome of the participation trophy generation, who never got told, you're not good enough. Go find what you're good at. Because she's not good at this stuff. She is box office poison. And that's why she doesn't care, because she's an activist first. That's where we are in the present. This marketing is such a meltdown that they have Gal Gadot doing all the press tour here in the US, and they send old Rachel off to bumblefuck around the world.
Yeah.
Sing and dance. To sing and dance, and to also put on fake fake promotional stuff. This is my favorite one. So she was in Spain the other day, singing in front of the castle that inspired Snow White's castle. And here was part of the promotional stuff right here. Now, I was going to look at this right here. These little girls look so enthused, don't they? In their dresses that don't fit because they clearly didn't come there wearing them for cosplay. And one person says right here, this is the movie. This is who the movie is made for. To my reply, little girls paid to be a part of a photo op. This is a paid photo op. These little girls,
they look bored. I'm sorry, they look bored. They look like they don't want to be there with her at all.
This is the only one who understood her job. I'm gonna be a troll and sit.
That's right.
I didn't notice that when you posted that in.
This is paid. These little girls are not here because they like Rachel Zegler or they like her Snow White movie. They were handed these dresses in line, said, "Here, little Spaniard girls, go stand next to this little Latino girl who started bleaching her skin, even though she said she'd never bleach her skin. She's been bleaching heavy. Look at her. Look at her. She's been heavy bleaching that skin. Michael Jackson bleaching right there. All right.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Back up. Ain't her daddy Polish?
Yeah. She's a half-breed.
She did look darker back in the day, though.
Like she got a white daddy. Why? Man, get out of here, man. This is trash.
Yeah.
Like, and these are Spaniards, right? This is Spain.
Spaniards. Right? These are Spaniards. Yes.
Yeah. So, what connection does she have with them? I'm confused.
Because they sent her there to sing. Here it is. The scaled back premiere. It's not a real red carpet premiere. No actual, even shill media will be present. It's in-house Disney people. That's it. That's it. They're so afraid. They're so afraid of anything she will say in these final moments, these final 4 days, that they have canceled the real premiere. This is unheard of. Have you guys ever heard of anything like this?
Never.
Not counting pandemic bullshit. Not counting that.
Yeah, not counting the pandemic. No, I've never seen or heard of anything like this before. Especially of canceling of premieres of a major. This is Snow White we're talking about here. You know what I mean? Like this is a big deal. And the fact they're just painting, or they're still trying to protect this broad at the same time. Like, oh, it's the anti-people, the people that don't believe in whatever it is that she stands for. It's got nothing to do with that. The reason why they're canceling it is because they got to save their freaking money and don't have to trot this girl out sooner than she has to.
This thing is tracking under 50 million right now.
That's insane
for the domestic premiere.
That's gonna be so bad.
Oh, we're gonna be all over it this week. I mean, we're gonna be.
What's the break even that we're going for? I think I remember something about 500.
No one even knows the budget, but it's got to be 350, 350.
The original budget before the reshoots was 220 or 250.
It's got to be.
Oh, was that? Yeah, so 350.
So it's over 300. I want to say at least 350.
That's what I'm going with. I'm saying that the real budget is between 325 to 350 $million. That's and not including the adverts. I'm talking about
heavy marketing. They have
what, a 900 million break even?
That's what I'm staring down the barrel of.
Yeah, because the marketing's easily been 100 million.
Oh yeah, it's been massive.
100%.
Up until now.
Yeah. So it's going to need almost $1 billion to break even, and this thing's not going to. We'll put our predictions at the end of the segment here, but this is it now. They have run the course. They've run the course. I showed you the history of how we got here with her behavior, her attitude, the things she says. She can't get along with Gal Gadot, who by all reasonings is someone very easy to get along with. Who's not a difficult person to deal with. Okay? Not difficult at all. Just the other day, though, as we near this, out of nowhere, a random announcement, complete random announcement, Jed and Dragon Lady, we might have to send you, you might have to take one for the team to go and see this, okay? Because it's in London. It's in London's theater.
Oh, I'm
I don't care. I don't care. You're going. I don't care. You're going. I don't care.
We got to ship her over there, just like.
No, right, not with her.
She's going to be Evita. Don't cry for me, Argentina.
Oh, no.
Where's Madonna?
Now we're cooking.
Should I not be asking that question?
So I chose this one because it showed it, but this is also the example. It gets announced, and here are the stands. Rachel Zegler's film debut as Maria at age 18. Broadway debut as Juliet in 23, and West End debut as Evita in 24. All iconic roles, a true testament to her potential considering she arrived in this industry at 17 with no industry connections, and she's still only 23. You know what this is, and correct me if I'm wrong. This is full retreat.
Absolutely.
This is failed actress retreating to stage with a play nobody gives a shit about Evita.
I'm glad you said that because I have no idea what it is.
It's a musical version of a president of Argentina's life from the 50s.
It's a commie playing a
boring.
commie playing a commie. Okay, that's what this is.
Yeah,
no.
So the lady herself was around in the 50s. The musical's been around since around about the 70s.
But at this point in 2025, nobody cares about Evita. So to be cast in this role, to belt out songs that even Madonna didn't really make interesting, this is bad. But the stands, look at this. Here we go. Let's go through it. Shining supernova is exactly how Rachel referred to, because here's Rachel Zegler's a shining supernova in Snow White. Isn't a supernova a thing of destruction?
Yes,
It's a death. It's a death of a star.
They don't understand. And this isn't somebody being sarcastic. This is a Zegler stand right here. They don't understand. A supernova is a destructive force that literally wipes out all life in a solar system.
And it shines brightly for a little bit before disappearing.
Yeah.
So her stardom rose at 17 for no reason whatsoever, and then a few years later, she disappears into obscurity, leaving destruction in her wake. That's actually a very apt description.
It's literally exactly what's happening.
So kudos to them.
She's taking over the world. No, she's been rejected by the world.
By everyone.
They're trying to spin this like this is some sort of epic thing. Rachel Zegler just wrapped in a sold-out Broadway run last month. Nobody sold out to what a small theater? It doesn't count. Is headlining a major motion picture this month, a motion picture that's going to cost Disney hundreds of millions of dollars. They're not going to make. And starts the West End rehearsals on iconic stage musical next month. Is Evita really iconic? Is it?
About 30 years ago it was.
Is it? While trolls continue to troll, she just keeps working and winning. I don't see the winning anywhere. Do we see the winning anywhere?
Last I checked, she doesn't have anything after Snow White, to the best of my knowledge.
This is it. No, this is after Snow White. That's what I said. This is a retreat. She has
theatrical.
No, I meant as in film-wise.
That's my point. That is my point. Sorry. She doesn't have any acting roles because no one will cast her because she's box office poison. So she's retreating to the stage.
Yeah.
And it's not like she's retreating to real stage. I made this reference the other night on Ballbusters. This isn't the same as a venerable actor like Sir Ian McKellen going back to the stage in his final years, or when Patrick Stewart was at his height going to the stage, or any other classically trained actor or actress going to the stage to perform anything, or ones that went to Broadway to make shows famous back in the 80s and the 90s and 2000s. That isn't this. This is a failed actress retreating to stage to do a play that nobody gives a shit about. She will be among the highest paid stars in London stage this season, how it should be. Yeah, sure. You're going to pay her and probably lose money. Congratulations. And I got one more here, I think. I already showed that one. I think that's all of them. Yeah, basically that's all of it. So that's just a smattering. I've seen so many in passing of this. So in the end, here is where we are. This nothing, this nobody, this misguide of a creature thinks she's the big deal, thinks she is the cat's goddamn meow. She has a tiny little Zeglian fan base that thinks they are worshiping a goddess. It's more of this weird promoting of these starlets who have no standing whatsoever, who don't really have a masterful talent of anything. They're just picked and chosen because of how they look or what they say. That's who she is. That's what she is. It's failure. It's failure. And this is the end of her. I don't think we ever see her in a real movie again after this.
No.
Nor should we.
Because there is no redemption for her. This isn't like the Brie Larson redemption where, honestly, all the shit that Brie Larson said, that's tame compared to what this dumb cow said. That's tame. That's nothing. And Brie Larson got a freaking clue. She got a clue and she just vanished from doing stupid interviews. She got a good publicist, a good agent, and said, you know what? Shut up. Shut up. Show the titties, put on the cleavage. Shut up. Just disappear. Do silly shit at premieres with Jason Momoa and then shut up. And she did. And look now. Do we say anything about Brie Larson?
Nope.
Nope. If you don't give us ammunition, we got nothing to say because in the end, we don't really care unless you make us care by behaving like an absolute monster of a human being, which is what Rachel Zegler is. So now I'm going to, Ryan, Kindle fix Brie. Yeah. I'm going to pose two questions to you guys as we round this out now. One, once Thursday passes and all contracts are over, premieres happened, she is no longer under Disney contract. In the coming week to weeks, do we get a Zegler meltdown?
Yes.
I think it's guaranteed at this point that she is uncontrollable.
Okay. She will.
And this meltdown, it might be biblical. This might be biblical.
I hope it is. I'm gonna pray like the people prayed for good Daredevil. I want her to have such a meltdown that I can make content for a couple of days on it.
Yeah. It's gonna be catastrophic, especially when this joint bombs. This will be her breaking point. And then of course she's gonna yell and scream at everybody's member of a certain 3-letter alphabet community that wears pointy hats and all that other nonsense. like she's gonna lose her freaking skull, and I'm hoping that like it's live where there was no script to begin with.
You want it recorded. You don't want an Instagram post. You want clips. You want clips.
I want somebody like, hey, Rachel, how do you feel about your film being hot garbage? Well, the thing is my daddy is Polish, and I ignore that because I'm a sexy Latina, and they're not ready for a strong Latina, and I think I hate life, and like that's what I want. That's what I want. That's the type of
I would love it.
Full on meltdown I want because she
I
needs
want
to go.
tears.
She needs to go. I want tears.
You want crocodile? They'd be crocodile tears.
Oh yeah, they would be, but it would be really funny. A little bit of screaming.
Oh yeah. I don't think we'd get screaming. It would be like bitch screaming. How dare these toxic men hate my movie? That kind of shit. All right, second question. Let's talk box office prediction. I'll go first. This thing don't break 200 million.
Ooh,
worldwide.
Bold.
Worldwide. At best 250 at best, because I don't think the world shows up for this. If America only shows up for 50, less than 50 million premiere, it only goes down from there. I don't think it breaks 100 million domestic. All right, you know what? Let me phrase that. Okay, it won't break 100 million domestic. Caps out between 250 and 300 million.
For total. For worldwide total.
Worldwide gross. Worldwide gross. 250 to 300. Because there's going to be no domestic for this.
Yes. That's a very good question. Because we already okay, let's just get a couple things out of the way. We know this film doesn't make money. We already know that already.
Yeah.
So this is what I will say. I think worldwide. Oh man, this is bad. I'm going to say 275
Okay.
worldwide, but I'm predicting that the domestic will be higher than the international by maybe 10
Really?
to 15 million.
Interesting.
Really?
That's my guess.
You think
That's
that
my
the
guess.
international's really going to bail on this? Wow.
Yeah, based primarily on the fact that there might be that initial burst of people that just because the name is Snow White and they're like, hey, this is a weekend I can just take my kids to just be able to get some time to just have their eyes glued to a screen. That's why I'm basing that number off strictly, is because of the parents that want to distract their kids for a minute. That's my
they're still
scenario.
predicting a sub 50 million opening weekend.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's
absolutely.
Yeah. So all right, Jed.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going out on a limb here. I think it's going to do slightly better than predictions. I'm going to say between 300 and 350. I think it's going to do a little bit better than we think, just because there's going to be a lot of people like us who go watch it to hate on it, because like we've seen with the trailers get impressive views on top of their awful like to dislike ratios. There will be people watching it out of sadistic enjoyment for the opening weekend, on top of the people who are normies and don't know what's going on. Just like, hey, there's a Snow White movie, I can distract my kids for a few hours, like Dre said. I think there's going to be a combination of a few different factors that get above the predictions. I think the predictions are low for that domestic view, so I'm going to say 300.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I try to take one. Dragon Lady, you want to?
I'm going to go to the theater, so they're going to get my money.
Dragon Lady, you want to take a guess? You don't have to.
Listen, 200, I would, 200 million, I would assume, given everyone's reactions to this, and even normies, and especially families with kids, from what I'm seeing and hearing, have absolutely no interest in this film whenever they've seen the trailers. So I think it's going to be very, very low. Not that low, but lower than 200 million.
Wow. You see, even I adjusted that when I thought about it, because it'll be, I don't think it breaks 100 million domestic, but I still think it could get 150 million worldwide. I still think it could get that. But okay. Well,
well, it loses hand over fist with all of our predictions.
Oh yeah. And here's the thing: it has no competition this week. There's no competition in the theaters this week, is there?
There's no competition because it was just announced that Mickey 17 is going to digital platforms already.
Really?
Good Lord.
Yeah. It's going to have a total of 18 days in cinemas. It made $5 million this week as well, domestically.
Yeah, egg on my face on my original prediction that'd be okay, but that's before I knew what it was. I mean, I was just making a prediction based on generalizations. All right, so we'll be back next weekend with our box office take, because we'll have our Sunday privilege. We will be able to show you the Thursday to Sunday take for Snow White, and you can catch hopefully my review for Snow White early Friday. I'm going to attempt to get it out as quickly as possible so that I can get ahead of the bigger shows and bigger channels, at least in our sphere. But then we just sit back and watch and see and enjoy. For now, we're done. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, check out my gaming channel at Renaissance Nerd Arcade, and follow me on X Twitter under @TheRedNerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.